In Sumerian mythology, Inanna, the powerful goddess of love, war, and fertility, sought to extend her rule beyond the heavens and earth by conquering the underworld, the realm of her sister, Ereshkigal. Inanna knew that entering the underworld was dangerous, so she prepared carefully. She dressed in her finest robes, adorned herself with precious jewelry, and instructed her loyal servant Ninshubur to seek help from the gods if she didn't return within 3 days. Inanna descended to the underworld and arrived at the first of 7 gates. To enter, she was required to give up a piece of her power at each gate. At the first gate, she surrendered her crown, at the second, her necklace, and at each subsequent gate, more symbols of her authority and divinity were removed. By the time she reached the final gate, Inanna was stripped of all her power and stood naked before her sister, Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal, the ruler of the underworld, was filled with jealousy and rage at Inanna's arrival. Without hesitation, she struck Inanna down, and the goddess's lifeless body was hung on a hook like a piece of meat. The world above began to suffer in Inanna's absence. Crops withered, animals stopped reproducing, and all life was in decline. When Inanna failed to return after 3 days, Ninshubur carried out her instructions and sought help from the gods. Many of them refused, fearing the power of the underworld. Only Enki, the god of wisdom, offered assistance. He created 2 small, magical creatures and instructed them to enter the underworld unnoticed. These creatures sympathized with Ereshkigal's suffering and pain, and, in return for their understanding, Ereshkigal allowed them to take Inanna's lifeless body and restore her to life. Inanna was revived, but her freedom came at a cost. The laws of the underworld required that someone take her place. As she ascended back to the world above, Inanna searched for someone to replace her. Ultimately, she chose her husband, Dumuzi, who had not mourned her absence. Dumuzi was sent to the underworld, and from that moment, he would spend half the year there, while Inanna ruled the earth for the other half, symbolizing the cycle of life, death, and rebirth.